Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I just realized yesterday that I did 10 episodes for season 19. So now I am going to make this, season 20, episode 1. Okay, it's not going to be long, but I am definitely going to talk about a subject matter that I know a lot of people struggle with, and I do too, and that is consistency. Now, I have had this discussion on this podcast in the past. I know I've talked about it before, but I think it's worth talking about again because we are now at the halfway mark of 2021, and there are so many things that we need to do by the end of the year. There are so many things that we want to accomplish by the end of the year, but how can we do that if we don't stay consistent? One of the reasons why I see why we as human beings don't stay consistent is because we refuse to lay out a roadmap of what it is that we need to do. Sometimes we just like to fly by the seat of our pants to do things, and sometimes that's okay. Sometimes the best things happen unexpectedly, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there should be an outline and a plan of where you want to go. Because a lot of times we have so many different things that we want to do, so many different talents that we're coming to the table with, but there's no organization of them, So when you lay all those things out, how are you going to manifest your dreams? How are you going to manifest these things happening if you don't get some discipline in your life and lay all this stuff out in an organized fashion? Now, a lot of times I see that sometimes people are not teachable. No matter how many times you tell them, well, you need to do this or you need to do that, or here's a roadmap for this or that, they always have some sort of excuse as to why they couldn't get something done. They were too busy, they were too this, they were too that. I understand people get busy. I understand that, unexpected things come up. But you have to be consistent. If you are not consistent or you don't give yourself that time, if you know you're going to be busy, give yourself that time. Get up a little bit earlier. If you used to get up at 6 o'clock and you know that day is going to be packed, you may need to get up a half hour earlier to fit in the things that it is that you want to do to move your brand to the next level. You have to find a way to be consistent. That is one of the main things, especially in the social media world, of why people drop off from doing things is because they don't stay consistent. And then when consistency drops off, it's a downer, it kind of makes you feel like you're not being productive. And then that turns into kind of almost like beating yourself up. So if you have a great team in place to push you, if you have a great team in place to give you that encouragement and map out an outline for you, lean into that and understand that they have your best interest at heart. I would never want to have my team, whether it's interns or assistant or anything like that, doing all these different things, and then I'm not staying consistent, so nothing is really jiving and nothing is really being cohesive. And that's a really tough place to be. And I don't like to feel down on myself when things like, are happening. It does happen, but if we stay consistent and we have a roadmap, mapped out for us, we can definitely make good things happen. Is your brand a little dull? Are you looking to start a brand, to start a business, and you have no idea where to begin? contact Onyx Queen Media. We provide lifestyle branding and event planning services to businesses who are looking to expand their lifestyle brands. We collaborate with you to challenge your thinking, processes, and approach to your business. Our method is to assist you in coming up with new ideas and products to create brand awareness and to expand your streams of income. Visit www.onyxqueenmedia.com and we'll be able to help you with any questions that you have. That's www.onyxqueenmedia.com. So I know we've been talking about consistency. So now I want to give some tips on how to stay consistent. Because one thing that I know, even for myself, is that we have so many different things going on and we fight consistency, because actually being consistent and being on a routine is not necessarily something that we all love to do. We kind of like to get up in the morning and kind of just go where the day takes us. That's why that saying is so popular. I'm just going to go where the day takes me. Yes, that is a great thing sometimes. But when you are trying to achieve specific outcomes for things, you need to have a map and a plan. So the first thing that I'm going to say is take one thing that you're trying to accomplish and make that the focus. So you may have 5 things that you want to accomplish this year. Take one of those things and work towards that goal, right? Map out all the pieces and the steps to that goal. So if there's 10 steps, let's tackle each of those steps little by little by little. Habits do not form overnight. You have to be consistent. And you have to be doing things in a repetitive fashion for it to become a habit, for it to become consistent. So don't think that, oh, I got all of these things that I have to do, so let me try to juggle everything at one time. No, take one thing that you're trying to accomplish and focus in on that and do the little steps necessary to climb up and up and up until you accomplish that goal. Then you can put that to the side, check that off, and say, okay, what's the next goal that I want to accomplish? And then go from there. So take one goal, focus in on that, and do all the steps needed for that one goal, accomplish it, finish it, put it to the side, and then work on the next thing. All right? One of the other things that we deal with is our mind can make you extremely tired. The way the brain works, we process so much information every single day, and your mind can really slow you down. Your mind can really make you feel unproductive. That nap that turned into 3 hours, that power nap that turned into 3 hours, and you lost 3 hours of the day and you could have been getting all this stuff done. Our mind really has a big effect on how we process information. It has a big effect on how we process our emotions. So definitely take the time to slow down. If you need to meditate, if you need to pray, if you just need to turn your phone off for a while, get off of social media for a few hours. Don't answer emails right away. They're still going to be there. The emails are still going to be there. The work is still going to be there. Take some time to yourself to get your mind in order, so that you can really concentrate on the goals that you have to do. Because if your brain is not focused, then your entire equilibrium is going to be thrown off, personal and professional. So really get control of your thought process so that you can focus in on those goals that you want to accomplish. So that's number 2, okay? Number 3, and this is the final point, is don't worry about how much you didn't accomplish. Don't worry about how much you may have failed at something. Stop worrying about that. People say, well, I wanted to accomplish all these things and look, I failed. No. There's another day. There's another day that you have another chance to make change. There's another day that you have another chance to be the best that you can be. It doesn't all have to happen at one time. Forgive yourself if you skip a day. Forgive yourself if you miss a deadline. Now, I know it's kind of hard to miss deadlines when it comes to business, but if you are taking on so much work that you're consistently missing deadlines from the negative standpoint, that you're constantly missing deadlines, then there's something going on where maybe you are taking on too much. Therefore, flooding your mind and your brain and your spirit with too much. And then it becomes overwhelming. Then you feel down on yourself. Then you interrupt your schedule, your consistency schedule. You see how that's a domino effect? So now I feel down on myself because I didn't accomplish all the things that I was supposed to accomplish today. So now I feel unproductive. Now it's messed up my schedule of being consistent. And now that throws off the whole schedule. And now I'm staring into the air like, okay, how did I get here? How did I get to this place of feeling unaccomplished? How did I get to this place of feeling like, again? Here we are again? It is such a domino effect. All right, so let me go through those 3 things again. The first thing, to stay consistent, take one goal that you're trying to accomplish and go through each of the steps to accomplish that particular outcome or goal. Concentrate on one thing at a time, right? Focus in on the improvements as you go along, steps. Everything takes steps, right? The second thing is to get your mind right. When your mind and your body and your spirit work together, consistency is a beautiful thing. So make sure that you don't put too much on the brain at one time. Focus, all right? And that's going to help you emotionally. It's going to help you so much. It's going to help you in your personal. It's going to help you in your business. So get your mind together. Focus. All right. The third thing, don't worry about what you didn't accomplish. Forgive yourself for the gym session that you didn't make. Forgive yourself for that personal deadline that you did not, hit or goal or whatever the case may be. Instead of being down on yourself about not hitting the goal, look at the goal and say, okay, what are the things that I didn't do? And try to go back and see where you could have been more consistent. Try to go back and see where you could have made changes and make those corrections so that the next time you'll hit your target. All right? So consistency. This is a little bit of, I think I may call this Consistency 101. How about that? Maybe we'll call it that. So consistency does take work. It doesn't happen overnight, but I promise you, if you slow down a little bit in your life and gather your thoughts, gather your emotions, and really map out, a light outline of what it is that you want to accomplish for yourself, 2021, by the time you get to December 31st at the end of this year, you will have accomplished so many things that you did not think you would be able to tackle. But it all starts, and you have to be consistent. That's all I got for you this week. If you want to talk to me on social media, feel free at Onyx Queen Media across all socials. If you want to email me, feel free. info@onyxqueenmedia.com. I'll talk to you tomorrow, you guys. Bye.